Hi, everybody. So I wanted to get on here really quickly and give you a quick recap on what happened today in the Diddy trial. It was really long, and I did not expect it to go that long. I really thought that uh, they were still doing jury selection, so I didn't expect it to go that fast. They really wrapped up jury selection really quickly, and I was on there talking about jury selection, and then the next thing I know, they are giving their opening statements. Okay, so I mean, it was unbelievably fast. All right, so let's tell you what the prosecution were saying in their opening statements. Basically, they're saying framed Diddy as a leader of 2 decades of a criminal enterprise centered around ex trafficking, coercion, and drugging victims. They said that he maintained power by recording explicit acts of blackmail and intimidation. That's basically what the opening statement was for the prosecution. For the defense, they claimed that while Combs led a lavish and sometimes reckless lifestyle, all relationships were consensual. They admitted past violent behavior and denied criminal conspiracy. Okay. Then next thing I know, they're on to putting their witnesses on the stand. It was going this quick. Okay. Um, the first witness they called to the stand, his name is Daniel Phillip. He is a male escort. And he testified he was paid by Combs to engage in actual acts with Cassie while Diddy watched. He also claimed that he was contacted via a third-party handler. Could it be Christina Curum? I don't know. Third party. He also described the encounter as degrading and said that Cassie appeared disconnected and emotionally numb. The next person, this is quite interesting, that we had on the stand was a security guard from the hotel. Now, the hotel has since closed down. It was called the International Continental. And I didn't realize this, but they're saying that he is, well, let me keep reading my notes. He recounted back in 2016 in Beverly Hills at the hotel called the Intercontinental, a hallway incident occurred where he responded to a domestic violence call involving Cassie. He described seeing Ventura visibly shaken with ripped clothing, saying she had been punched and dragged. Then there was surveillance video of the altercation, and that was played in court, showing a man resembling Diddy pulling a woman down the hallway. So that's the unedited version of the tape that we were shown first by CNN. They said that CNN cut up their tape and chopped it and made it look worse than what it was. And so it was Diddy's side that gave it was Diddy's side in which they had the surveillance camera footage. They took that from his Miami home during the raid. Okay. What else? Video evidence, the surveillance footage from the hotel was introduced, corroborating Flores' testimony. That is the security guard. Hotel records and police calls from 2016 were admitted as exhibits. Now, they kept arguing over some piece of evidence that they wanted to keep out of court. I don't know what it was. Now, remember, there's no cameras, or I will be showing you guys footage. This is all from inside the courtroom. Shocking claims. Prosecutions detailed an alleged party where Diddy allegedly forced a male sex worker to urinate into Cassie's mouth. That is so disgusting. When I heard it, when we were hearing it live, they didn't say in her mouth. They just said forced, because we're reading it from someone inside the courtroom tweeting it out. But and they kept objecting. They kept doing sidebars. I mean, Every time the prosecution tried to work and tell their side of the story, there was an objection. There was an objection, which all good attorneys are supposed to do. But it made it very difficult to follow the story. It was every 5 minutes. Then he was accused to do an act described as punishment and humiliation. Cassie allegedly later told a confidant that she felt like she was drowning and was coerced into drugs. So it's just, there's a big thing going around the internet that Cassie was not a victim. She was a, what do you call it? She participated, a willing participant. There's a word, I just lost memory of what the word was. Also, they said the cat in the courtroom atmosphere said Diddy wore a casual luxury sweater, waved to his mom Janice and his sons in the gallery. Reporters noted he appeared calm but tense. There was heavy media presence, heavy, with national outlets and celebrity reporters occupying the front rows. So I'm also being told that there were only 20 people allowed into the courtroom. And one of the people was Jaguar Wright. If you watched me live for 8 hours, we were just stunned and amazed how she can go to court with 2 active warrants against her. But she was there and she had 3 bodyguards and I almost said husband, her boyfriend, Odell, was there.
Is this day overdue?
Of course it is. And we're just getting started. I do believe there's going to be a lot of curveballs. I do believe there's going to be a lot of interesting things. And what I will say is, be vigilant.
Cassie is expected to testify this week. They're saying most likely tomorrow. I really need to hear Cassie's side of the story because the defendant made it seem like the security guard, Israel, was leaving a lot out. He admitted to not doing a thorough investigation. He said that there was a guy there in the room and he didn't ask him his name. He didn't ask him what did he see. He left certain things out the report. He was asked to not put certain things into the report. Also, one of the weirdest things that he did was pulled out a camera and start video camming things that he saw so he can go back and show his wife. And that ended up being the tape that he later sold to CNN for some money. I believe it was $65,000. Could have been more than that, but that's just what I heard. He also said that after having 2 days off, when he went back to work, he wanted to look at the tape again and it was gone. Now, and that's where it stopped in court. But we all know that according to the rumors, they gave the tape to Diddy for $50,000, but the jury doesn't know that. It was good testimony, but of course, we always wished that we could watch the actual footage, but this is just a law that they had way before Diddy. No cameras allowed in a federal courtroom. Also, it feels like Diddy is paying off witnesses. Now, they didn't talk about this in court today. All they would say is witness number 3. They still don't know where that witness is. This witness expressed to her attorneys, she's a female, that she did not want to testify. And so they haven't heard from her since last Wednesday. Also, there's supposed to be another witness that they added to the witness list today. So maybe that person will say some of the things that witness number 3 was supposed to say. According to the rumors, witness number 3 was very, very important to the prosecutor's case. What else here? Prosecutor detailed an alleged party where Diddy allegedly forced a male worker Okay, that I can't keep reading about that. Everyone's talking about the urination. Ugh. Okay, ugh. Um, it was very chaotic on the outside. Lots of people there. Um, of course, this is the trial of the century. This is what I considered in my generation the OJ OJ trial. The OJ trial was just as crazy as this, if not a little bit worse. But you got supporters on both sides outside stating their case. In the middle of the trial, there was this guy that came out and was really adamant about how innocent Diddy is. Also, there is a new slew of bloggers that are saying Cassie isn't innocent. They're supposed to uh, introduce some videos into evidence when Cassie comes where she's allegedly hitting Diddy and allegedly broke his nose. That will be interesting to watch because I'm not one of those people that feel like Cassie was a willing participant. I feel that, you know, when you're in a DV relationship, you're so scared of Diddy, of the pimp, whatever you want to call him, that you do things out of fear. And maybe that meant gross things like, letting someone urinate in your mouth. I think that that wasn't her first brutal attack from Diddy. I believe he did it all the time because he's acting like a pimp and he's distributing his control over her. That's what I think. But it's a lot of people that think different. People are saying Cassie is not innocent, and she is just as bad as he is. Now, this is why I say her testimony is going to be very, very important. We want to know, out of her own words, what happened. If there's incriminating evidence against Cassie, bring it on. I want to see it. All right. So I said Cassie's expected to testify tomorrow. Additional witnesses, including a former bodyguard and an ex-employee, are scheduled to appear tomorrow. The jury is composed of 7 women, 5 men, and 2 alternates. So there you have it. It was very interesting. It was very long because cameras weren't allowed in the courtroom. We had to read what was going on. That's a little odd. I just like to sit back and watch and see what kind of feel I get, but we weren't allowed to do that this time. I also think because we're not allowed to do that, you also don't get the true essence of how it played in the room. So something can appear one way and really be another way inside of the room. Now, I just don't understand. I mean, it's just weird. It's just weird. All of the children were there, including Quincy. Remember, we heard those rumors that he was torn because he believes his bio father, who is Albie Shore, who went around this week publicly doing interviews saying that Diddy was responsible for unaliving him. And also another weird thing is the jury's not sequestered. Very strange. Very strange. I don't know why they're not sequestered, but they're not. And so it is what it is. So that's what went down today. If you ask me who won for today, because every day is a new day in a trial, I would say the prosecution. Yes, the defense made the bodyguard look incompetent. You're filming it yourself. That's not the rules. You only write in the incident report what he wants you to write. So, despite that, I think the prosecution came in strong when they start interviewing, or when the escorts got on the stand, because I just got a better feel for what really went on. But to some people, this was evidence that Cassie was a willing participant. Because they say, and if you watch my channel today, people were like, some people like golden showers. That's what they said. I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know. But that's what happened yesterday. I will be back tomorrow bright and early. I'm going to go all day as long as we can. And hopefully we'll get some more interesting testimonies that'll make this clear. Hopefully Cassie will take the stand tomorrow. Also, she is pregnant and expected any day now. She's really, really pregnant. So I wonder how it's going to play if the defense decides to, really, what's the word I'm looking for? Beat up on a pregnant woman who has completely turned her life around. Or, there are so many horrible rumors out there about Cassie. It's really hard to listen to, but everybody has a right to their opinions. They're calling her the B word. They're saying she was just out for the cash. She got what she want. Now why is she testifying? It's bad. But as of now, let's all keep an open mind. I will let you know if I change my mind or if I see evidence that makes me change my mind. Right now, I'm Team Cassie, but I have an open mind. If something doesn't make sense, then that's just what I'm going to say. It doesn't make sense. So that's what happened today, day one. This is expected to go, I believe they said 12 days, 10 to 12 days. I can't remember exactly. Just a little bit over 2 weeks. So we'll see how it goes. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. You are allowed to say whatever you want in my comments section. Just be respectful. If you think Cassie is a participant versus a victim, you can say that, but not dragging her, please. Let's just try to be respectful. And it is. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow during the trial, I will certainly do another recap. Okay, until tomorrow. See you then. Bye.